Good morning. This is April the 10th, Thursday, 2025, and we are in BBA second semester compulsory English class, where we just started discussing the essay, A Model of Intercultural Communication Competence by Brian Spitzberg. And yesterday we had some discussion. You read some initial pages and you made some notes. And then at home I asked you that you take a cardboard paper, and then there are three headings here. You have individual system, episodic system, and then relational system. And there are points. For example, in individual system, there are A, B, C, D, 4 points. And for each point, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 sub-points. There are sub-points for each, right? For example, let me show you slightly here, and then for example, if you see this figure, right? So, this one is about individual system, right? Then you have episodes, right? Like you have motivation, knowledge, skills, right? Skills, motivation, knowledge, context, outcome, etc. Expectancies, this figure. And if you go down below this figure, for example, there are 3 levels of analysis, right? And for each level of analysis, for example, if you come to individual system, there are 3 things: motivation, knowledge, skills. Points are there. And if you go below, it's like 1A heading. Then there are points, right? I said you don't worry about these points, you copy these points. Now I want to check if you have done the task. I want to go and inquire if you have done the assignment. Okay, let's see how many of you have done. What's your name?
Subhigya.
Huh? Subhigya. Have you done assignment?
No,
Why you didn't do the assignment?
I didn't find the cardboard.
You didn't find the cardboard. That's not a very good excuse. You didn't want to do it. You could find a big paper. Or you could do on this paper. Have you done here? Have you done it here? You didn't know where. If you didn't find a cardboard paper, you could find any paper and say, sir, I didn't find the cardboard paper, so here I have done. Good students don't make excuses. They bring solutions. What's your name?
Dizana.
Huh? Dizana. Have you done the assignment?
No.
Why you didn't do the assignment?
I forgot.
You forgot. What's the medicine of forgetting? Because this is the second or third time you said you forgot. Last time also you said you forgot, I remember. Thank God you didn't forget to come to college. You came. You forget assignments. In a mobile phone, set alarms. Make schedules and put alarms for assignments. You're a student and you forget assignments. What do you remember? What's your name? Ayusha Bandari. Have you done assignment?
No, sir.
Why you didn't do?
Sir, I could not find the cardboard paper.
Cardboard paper. What a nice excuse. Have you ever gone hungry because you didn't find the plate in the kitchen? No. If you don't find plate in the kitchen, you will eat from the cooker. You won't go hungry. But if you don't find the cardboard paper, you will come to class without doing assignment. Come, have you done assignment? You were absent. Why to ask? It's waste of time to ask you. Have you done the assignment? Namiga? Why you didn't do? You forgot. Have you done the assignment? Why you didn't do? You were absent. Best excuse. You were absent yesterday? No, you were present. What's your name? Angela. Angela what last name? Angela Busal. Angela, have you done the assignment? Why? You forgot. Miss Bhatta, you also forgot. Or it is another excuse. Have you done assignment? No. Why you didn't do? Why to do? Who bothers? Who cares? Right? Why? Why to do? Who cares? Who bothers? Who cares? What's your name? Umang. Have you done assignment?
Yes, sir.
You have done. Okay. Oh, this one. Hello. Hello, girls. Look here. He didn't make an excuse. He didn't say, I didn't find the cardboard paper. Look. He made it. Do anyway. Look. This is what success people do. It's just a symptom that in future he will do something better. He didn't make an excuse. He brought a solution. He could easily say, I forgot. I won't beat him. How can I? Right? Have you done assignment?
No.
What's your name?
Sushobit Kargi.
Sushobit. Have you done?
No.
Why you could not do?
I was absent.
You were absent. Okay. Mr. Roy, have you done assignment?
No, sir.
Why?
Didn't find a cardboard. And I wanted to do on chart paper, but I gave up.
You gave up. Any reasons?
Not really.
Okay. What's your name?
Pratyush.
Huh?
Pratyush.
Pratyush. Okay, have you done assignment?
I have done it in the copy.
You have done in copy? Okay. Okay. Good, you tried. All right. At least you didn't make fake excuses. Okay, what's your name?
Priyanshu.
Priyamsu, look, he has done. Hello, girls. Have a look. Have a deco. In English they say, have a deco, have a look. He could have made an excuse. He didn't make an excuse. Okay? Okay. Well made. Good. I can see all three headings are there, points are there. Okay. You have done? Look, girls, I should show the girls particularly because most of them have not done. How about deco? Somebody has done in the class assignment. Look, he used a carton paper. He didn't get a cardboard, but he used it. He got a solution. Hello? How about deco? Someone has done. How about deco? Someone has done. Wonderful. Thank you so much. This is how you succeed. You don't make excuses. You do despite problems, not because you have sources. Okay. I know you're unhappy with me because I'm not criticizing you, but okay. So now what I plan, you take a book, take a copy, and the assignment you didn't do it now. Now make the notes now. And those who have made the notes, what you do, for each of the headings, if you saw, there are paragraphs, right?
Yes.
The paragraphs explain the point. Yes. Read the paragraphs, read the explanations of points, and see if you can bring some points to aid to your headings. Because it's not enough to have the headings. In exam, you will have to write sentences about the headings, right? So for each heading, write at least 3 points or 2 points. Those who have done the assignment, for example, this student, for example, access to social support increases, okay, fine. For example, if you have headings, for example, there are paragraphs for each heading. Now read the paragraphs and write points from the paragraphs. Do it now. For example, let me help you, or I'll help over there. Everybody can see it. For example, in individual system, first point is, I wish I had a remote for my camera, right? Because I want to make sure that everything I do in the class is recorded. Okay. For example, let me show you. First, you have individual system, right? And if you see just a minute, let me open the textbook. Here is the text. Let me go back. Oh. Wait a minute. Here you have this heading, individual system. You have first point 1. Then below you have 1.A, right? And here is the heading. I said you copy this. And I said you don't worry about this thing, right? Now what I want you to do now is, it's not enough to read the heading. You can't understand this point without reading this point. This explanation. For example, as communicator motivation increases, communicative competence increases. So motivation and competence are related. If motivation goes up, competence goes up. If motivation goes down, competence goes down. For example, in this class, look, the student who did this assignment, for example, he must be highly motivated. Otherwise, why would he bother to bring these kind of, makeshift items from the shop and then buy these papers that you say you didn't get it? And look, his choice of colors, 1 color, 2, 3 color variations. He is so motivated that he wants to show that he can do differently. This is motivation. Whereas you have these people here who have zero motivation. And we say they forgot. Many of you said you forgot. See the example of motivation in this classroom. This student who does on a single page, he is motivated to do. I do agree that all people do not have equal level of motivation. That's why all people do not succeed equally. Some people fail. Results came, and I heard a couple of people dropped because they are not motivated to study. There is no excuse in college. Okay. For example, see my slide. So under this, I write 3 things, right? Motivation, knowledge, skills. As communicator motivation increases, first point, second point, there are 3 headings. And under each of these 3 headings, there are 4 subheadings. There are 3 headings and 4 subheadings. Now, if you see the next slide, I take the first heading, 1.A, or let's go back to this one and see where I got this point, where I got these 3 points. I want to show you how to make notes. Look here. Very simply, the more a person wants to make a good impression and communicate effectively, the more likely it is that this person will view self and be viewed by others as competent. What constitutes or leads to high levels of motivation? I get the word here. I get the word motivation here. And as I go down, maybe I get other words, 3 words, or I got the 3 words here, I guess. Just a minute, let me show you. Here in figure point 1. I got the 3 words here. Motivation. That if I do well, I'll get something. Motivation. These are my objectives. I want to achieve them. Goals. I want to impress my English teacher that I'm different in the class, so I'll do. Anxiety. I'm worried If I don't do the assignment, sir will scold me in the class. I must do. Do you know, I made the slides last night. I woke up at 1:30 to make the slides. I woke up midnight and you were sleeping. You sleep. I don't mean you wake up. I don't mean that. Find time to study. Find time to study. Find time to assignments. So here I get, and then from here, I make the points. 3 points. To become a person, I can be a very good communicator if I'm highly motivated. For example, last night when I went to bed, I could not sleep. I had a question. It's a big lesson. There are 11 pages. And there are 100 items, 100 ideas, more than 100 ideas. So many ideas. And my problem was, how shall I teach you? Because I can't remember all that. It's a huge amount of information. I went to bed with this worry, oh, tomorrow, how shall I teach? Woke up midnight, 1:30, I said, no. I can't ignore my class. Turned on the laptop, and it clicked. Oh, I can make PowerPoint slides for this chapter. I sat down, because in PowerPoint, you can break points and subpoints easily. And I made the PowerPoint slides. I made about 70 slides last night. Motivation, because I was motivated. Knowledge. Now I have a good knowledge of the chapter because I spent time making notes. I know, I can explain. I have skills. See my slide. It's good because it has a dark background, white foreground. The text is well foregrounded. It is visible. Right? Then go down and see. Now 1A. Come back to the text. One A, as communicator confidence increases, communicator motivation increases. Heading. Now there is paragraph. You need to understand how confidence and motivation increase are related. So for example, the first is about motivation, right? So make 1, 2, 3, 4. And go to first, right here, confidence. Now go 1B, 1A, 1B, reward relevant communicator efficacy belief, right here. Reward relevant communicator efficacy beliefs. Now number 3, 1B, 1C, communicator approach disposition. Communicator approach disposition. Go down, 1C, go to 1D, there are 4. 1D, relative cost benefit ratio. Relative cost benefit ratio. These are the 4 factors which influence motivation. Now in the exam, if you have a question, long answer question, and you have these notes in your copy, before exam you can have a quick look. Oh, what increases motivation? Confidence increases motivation. And what brings confidence? Preparation brings confidence. The more you are prepared, the more confident you are. So, this is sketchy note. Now, confidence. Look my slide. This is the heading. Now I go to paragraph. Now below the heading, this is the paragraph, number 1. This is the paragraph, this one, up to here. And look my note. I read the paragraph and look my note. Confidence results from several individual experiences. I didn't note anything else. It's a long paragraph because others are example. How I got this point? Confidence results from several individual experiences. Means if you do something, if you do an activity again and again and again and again, you'll become more and more confident doing that. That's how you pass the driving license test. That's how you pass driving license. When you ride a bike for the first time, you fall down, you bruise your legs, you break your legs, you get wounded. But after a month, you pass the license test. How? Because you did it again and again and again, and you got the confidence. Now, where I got this point? Come back to the essay. Look here. Confidence results from several individual experiences. I have highlighted. I took this point in my note. For example, now I don't bother about example. Because I told you, every writing has two things. Idea, example. Examples are less important. Ideas are more important. Example, I can take this example. A person is nervous. He meets a stranger. Now he is less confident. If I am nervous, suppose I didn't read the lesson. Suppose I didn't make the slides. Suppose I was so busy, I didn't open the book and I came to your class to teach you. I'll be nervous. I'll be nervous. Because I have no idea what is there in the lesson. I'm not nervous right now because I spent the night reading the lesson. So confidence comes from preparation. Confidence comes from preparation. Okay. Now second, let me show you some more. 1B. As reward relevant communicator efficacy beliefs increase, communicator motivation increase. Now I have a problem here. It's a difficult point. I do not understand what is reward relevant communicator efficacy belief. A long word, long phrase. Now what I do? Here I make a note. Efficacy beliefs are, efficacy comes from efficient. Efficacy is a noun. Efficient is an adjective. What is efficiency? If you can do something at a very low cost in comparison to other options, and if you can do something very effectively, you are efficient. Two things. Doing something at a very low cost with maximum benefit. Very low cost, lowest cost, highest benefit is efficiency. What is efficiency? Doing something lowest cost, highest benefit. That's why you say so this motorcycle gives 100 kilometers per liter. So cost becomes very low, benefit becomes very high. So you will say this is the most efficient brand, buy it. Efficiency, two words. Cost very low, benefit very high. I define. Now I write efficacy beliefs, what is believing that I can do? Last time you read Attire in India. What you read about Steve Jobs? What did Steve Jobs learn from Bushnell? Bushnell as a manager had one quality. He insisted, no, do it or die it. And Steve Jobs learned that if you taan liya, I will do. The Hindi term, taan liya, the movie term. If you taan liya, if you insist, if you determine, I'll do, you can do. At the end you read in the last paragraph of Steve Jobs' biography that he had one habit. If he said, I will do, Steve Jobs will die but do. In the last paragraph, Bushnell gave him to make a version of Pong with single player using minimum chips. And Bushnell thought, it will take a month or two for other people. And Steve Jobs finished that task in 4 days by working throughout night. Working throughout night. We read about Steve Jobs today in BBA at LSEM because Steve Jobs spent sleepless nights. Then we read about him. We read about Phil Knight because he spent sleepless nights with crazy idea. Woke up early at 4 o'clock and went for running. Success comes from hard work, not from making excuses. Girls forgot. What did he say? Forgot. Go to America, go to Australia, join a university and say forgot, and you will see what happens. Here you can easily say forgot. Right? It's your home. Mom is there, dad is there. Why do you fear? So forgot. Go to a foreign country for study and say forgot, and you will know what happens. Okay? Forgot people. You have this brand, forgot brand. How can you forget? How dare you forget? Your assignments, your studies. If you forget, you are a college going people and you forget assignments, what else do you remember? Okay. So heading, now where I get this point? From the paragraph. I got this point from the paragraph. For example, let me show you. One point B. One point B, I read here. Efficacy beliefs are, here is a definition. I do not understand this word as I read. So I go down into the paragraph. With the belief there is explanation. And I find a definition. Self-perceptions of ability to perform a given set of behaviors. I instantly note them. Self-perceptions of ability to perform. Now I know. You know when you read. Not when you listen to me like this. So we have 20-minute time. I won't move it now. Like this, you collect the points. 1. There are 3 points in first heading. There are 3. There are 3. For example, yes. There are 3 points about motivation, points about knowledge, points of skill. And there are 4 points for each. For the last, there are 5. Skill, there are 4 points. 2, 3, 4. Knowledge, there are 4 points. 2, 3, 4. Skills are 5 points, I guess. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now collect the points, and for each point, write some examples. Write definitions. Your time starts now. Do it now. पढ्न दिएको काम नगरेर के गरेर कलेज आउँछौ? किन आउँछौ कलेज? Assignment नगर्ने भए, why do you come to college? रमाइलो गर्न? Do it now. Do it now. Now do it now. Do it.
Sir, the example, it's from the book only, or we can write like from up.
First, see what examples are in the book.
Yes, sir.
Then you take one example from the book.
Yes, sir.
If you can make your own example, add your example also. Good. It's good to find your example, but also see what examples are in the book also. Though I am angry, I am not angry, I am not scolding, call me for help. Call me for help. I need your permission to collect them to my office in the break. I want to show my teachers, look what they have done.
Sure, sir.
I want to show examples, your performance.
And like we have to write the name also in the cardboard or not?
You can write at the back. I should know whose cardboard I collected. At the back of the paper, write your name. Now what happens? When you work like this, your names are printed in my head. I know. Oh, Priyamsu had done. I know. What's your name? Let me. Yeah. What's your name? Your name? Umanga. I now remember Umanga had done. What's your name? Anubhav. Anubhav has done. Anubhav has a great Anubhav today of doing an assignment. Priyamshi has experience of doing assignment. Do you have the textbook with you? What's your name? Salina. I'm marking, I'll inform the administration because they have asked me to check, and if they don't have book, inform us. Is your textbook? Your textbook? Okay. Textbook, textbook. Your textbook? Your textbook. Because you're the only one not having a book, I excuse you today. I won't let them know. Tomorrow, make sure you have a book. Okay? Let me mark in the attendance that you have done the assignment, because when I put the internal marks, I check the attendance. What's your name?
Priyansu Chaurasia, roll number 7.
7. So I write A. A means that day you had done assignment.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. What's your name?
My Anubhav, sir.
On roll number?
1, sir.
1. So I write A, it means on this date you had done the assignment. What's your name? Roll number? 13. I write A, this means you had done the assignment this day. Okay? I'll make markings on the attendance sheet. Make sure you've written your name somewhere, right? The top, you can write small letters, write your name, section, and date. Note making is very important skill that not everyone has. You listen to people in a meeting, you are participating in a department meeting, you are manager, your boss speaks for half an hour, and you are supposed to make notes. So how do you make notes? You are in a conference, you want to take ideas home. How do you make notes? Your teacher gave you an essay to read and said make notes. How do you make notes? It's very important to learn to make notes, because every piece of writing is well organized. There are main ideas, there are supporting ideas, there are other ideas. So when we meet next time, I will check all the three systems: individual system, episodic system, and relational system notes in detail, either in your copy or on a separate sheet as you prefer. Thank you. I know you are angry, but what can I do? Thank you. We stop here.